Here we are going to demonstrate how to construct a box and whiskers diagram using Excel. Okay, so first we have to do some labeling. So here we go. Here we're going to put the word sample 1. So we're going to type sample 1 right here. Sample 1. Okay. Here we're going to put the minimum value, min for minimum, the first quartile, that's the lower quartile, the median. Okay. We can put Q2 for the median, or you can put MED, the upper quartile, Q3, right? And then the maximum value. And here now we're going to represent, we're going to put box 1, box 2, we're going to label box 1, box 2, box 1. Here, let's do this, put a space, box 2, and then box 3. Okay, and then we have here, we're going to put our top whisker. It's called this top whisker. All right, and here we're going to call this the bottom whisker or the lower whisker. Upper whisker and the lower whisker, probably that would be sounding better. Up and lower, top, bottom, upper, and lower. Okay. Right, so we're going to make use of formulas that we know. So for the minimum value, that would be equal to MIN, and we want the minimum value of these numbers, so we just highlight it. Okay, let's go over that again. Equal minimum, so we have to double click on the formula minimum, the function minimum, highlight the values, and in close bracket, and then enter. So the minimum value here is 124, right, of all these values. Then the lower quartile, so we have to put equal QU for quartiles, double click on quartiles, and we have to highlight the values. All right, the 20 values here, and we have to put comma 1. All right, 1 for first quartile, 2 for median, 3 for third quartile, and 4 for maximum, 0 for minimum. Okay, so first quartile, we want the second quartile, so we put equal. We can actually put the word median, because, or we can put quartile 2. All right, so there are 2 ways you can actually obtain the median. Okay, and the same thing applies for the minimum and the lower and the lowest value. You can actually, you know, type the word minimum, or you can look for Q0 or Q1, but for median is Q2. So you could comma, no, just close bracket. So it will give you the median one time. But for the upper quartile, we put equal QU, double click on quartile, and we highlight the values, right? And we are looking for the third quartile. So we put comma, third quartile, you can just click on it. Oh, and looking put 3 for third quartile, or you can type in 3 and you press enter. And you want the maximum value, because these are the 5 numbers that the box and whiskers need: the minimum, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum value. So you put equal, and you can just type in max, M-A-X, max, or just double click on max right there and highlight the values. So to get the maximum value, which I think is 198. So it's supposed to give us 198. And then we have to identify what is box 1. Box 1, so here you have to be very careful, so you can replay the video to ensure that you remember box 1 will be the lower quartile. So it was equal, and you just click on C4, right? And then you press enter. And as you can see, so box 1, please associate box 1 with the lower quartile. Box 2 equal would be the difference between the median, which is in C5, minus the lower quartile, which is in C4, and you press enter. So that will give you box 2. Box 3 would be the difference between Q3 and Q2, the upper quartile and the median. So you put equal Q3 minus the median, enter, and that will give you box 3. The upper whisker will be equal the difference between the maximum and Q3. So that'll be maximum minus Q3. Okay, so please replay that so you can remember that. And the lower quartile is another difference. It will be the difference between the lower quartile. So C4, that will be Q1 minus the minimum value. And you press enter. Okay, so remember this. After you get your main, your Q1, your Q2, your Q3, your max, you have to get box 1, box 2, box 3. Box 1 would be equal the lower quartile exactly. Box 2 is the difference between Q2 and Q1. Here it is. C5 minus C4. And box 3 is the difference between Q3 and Q2. That would be C6 minus C5. Upper whisker would be the difference between the maximum and Q3. C7 minus C6, as you can see it right here. And the lower whisker would be the difference between Q1 and the minimum value, which is C4 minus C3. Now here's a tricky part again you have to remember. First, you highlight from here, you press Shift and you highlight sample, then you press Control and you highlight those 6 numbers, those 6 cells, box 1, box 2, box 3, and your values. So please take note of this highlight that you have to do now. And then you go to Insert, you go to, right, Insert column or bar chart. Then you go to this one there, okay, the stacked column. All right, you can see mark stacked column. And you click on a stacked column. We don't need these boxes, so we delete it. And that's how we want it. Okay, so leave it like that. But if it don't want, if it does not come so, then you go to switch row. If it appears like this, because sometimes when you go to chart and you go to let's delete this again. Sometimes when you go to make sure these are highlighted, when you go to insert and you go to bar, you go to stacked column, and if you switch, sometimes it give it to you like this. Okay, so then you go to switch row column for it to appear like this, because that's how you want it to be. But because I did it already, it has it in its memory, so it give it to me directly like that. But if in case it give it to you like this, then you go to switch row column right here, and then you click on it and it will put it like this. We don't want that labeling. This, we want this to be blank. So press Shift, F9, F10, Shift and F10. All right, to get format, or you can right click on that box there to format. But because my right click, you know, not functioning properly, I'm using Shift and F10 will give you the same, you know, procedure as right click. Make sure this rectangle is highlighted, and then you go to format data series. You go to shapes, fill and line, click on fill and line, and no fill. So you want this blank. All right, so you can actually see it's starting to look like a box and whiskers. Now you want your whiskers. So what you do now, you go to, you click on this alone, right? On this box there. All right, make sure this is highlighted. Then you go to add chart element. See it mark the add chart element, click on it. Then you go to error bars, remember that. Go to more error bars option, click on this, and you see your error bar. See your whisker appear in the runtime. Okay, then you go to chart, Then you go to minus, because it's the lower part. And then you go to custom, specify. All right, make sure you go to specify value, right? Click on this. This will come up because you want your lower whisker. You go to negative error value, you delete what is there, and then you highlight lower. That's what you want. The 23.4, box 1. You see what it does? And then you just click OK. And here you have your left whisker. Now we want our upper whisker. So we go back to add chart element, error bars again, more error bars, click on it. Then the error bar options is already highlighted. So you go to plus now because you want the upper part. You go to, oh no, oh sorry. So you see, because I go plus it, so it closed because look at my mistake. It's supposed to remain that way. I supposed to have, I supposed to have highlight this now, because for the top whisker, upper whisker, I supposed to highlight this gray rectangle up there. Okay, so you see what it does. It modified because I highlighted this rectangle, but I'm going up now, so I have to highlight this rectangle and then go to chart design, add chart element, error bars, more error bar options. Now my upper whisker. So now I click plus. Okay. Oh, and look, it give it to me the runtime because I don't even have to specify the value, but I can still specify it. Delete this positive value. This is what I want right there, and click OK. And here, this gives us our upper, all right, our upper bar. And here you have a box and whiskers, or upper whisker, you want to put it that way. And here you have your box and whiskers using Excel.